Clash of the Classics.
And welcome to another episode of Clash of the Classics. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Donnie. I'll be your host for the next little while. If you're new to the show, maybe this is the first time you found us, you're going to find every week we roll the clock back, we take a look at one car or two cars, and then we talk about things like interior. We talk about exterior. We'll look at powertrain stuff, and we'll talk about parts of the car that we like best. And as always, we welcome you to let us know what you think. Today we're going to spend some time revisiting the first generation 1974 Dodge Ramcharger. Head on over to our website, horsepoweronline.com, or leave us a message right here on our YouTube channel. We'd love to hear from you. These battles are fueled by the largest automatic transmission network in the world. They're the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association, or quite simply, the ATRA. All right, let's talk about the 1974 Dodge Ramcharger. Talk about a car that doesn't get much attention. Back in the early 70s, before the term SUV was coined, the multi-purpose vehicle market pretty much belonged to General Motors and their Chevy Blazer full-size two-door off-road truck-based platform. And while Blazer sales were growing at that time, Ford's Bronco sales were tanking. And the folks at Chrysler were watching from a distance and came up with a way to tap into the MPV market by introducing their own line of full-size off-roaders. And it wasn't just one, but two, the AW100 Dodge Ramcharger and the PW100 Plymouth Trail Duster. And similar to the Blazer, it was based on the half-ton pickup. In Chrysler's case, it was the Dodge W100 four-wheel drive platform. Introduced midway in the 1974 model year, one big difference that they had from the Chevy Blazer was that the Mopar came standard with a collapsible soft top with a hard top as an option. There was a two-wheel drive option offered a bit later on with the 225 cubic inch slant 6 as the standard engine. And I'm sure most of our audience will agree that 225 slant 6 Chrysler engine, definitely one of the most reliable, dependable engines ever created. But anyway, back to the Ramcharger. Both the two-wheel drive and the six-cylinder engine options could easily be justified back in those days, as the Ramcharger was introduced during that first oil crisis back in the early 70s. So something more fuel efficient than the all-wheel drive 1974 standard 318 V8 almost seemed necessary. Then by about the end of 1975, America was somewhat getting back to normal, albeit with a more expensive gasoline. But at the same time, the country was experiencing a boom in recreational light truck sales. So Chrysler just happened to be in the right place at the right time with these twin MPVs. And for the first time, they were number 2 in sales for a truck market segment. But I don't want to pop the top on that champagne yet, because all that was short-lived. For 1978, Ford regained sizable control of the MPV market with the re-release of the Bronco. But in the meantime, Dodge enjoyed a high level of success with that Ramcharger. And regardless of the level of sales success, the thing is, the truth of the matter is, the truck was cool looking. It had a perfect blend of daily driver convenience. They kind of mixed it with an aggressive stance. Definitely had plenty of man-card credibility. It was based on a shortened wheelbase version of the Dodge D-Series pickup truck chassis and was primarily produced as a two-door, four-wheel drive vehicle. There were ultimately several powertrain options available, beginning with that 225 slant 6 that we discussed a little earlier. There were also 4 other V8 options, including the 318 V8, there was a 360 V8, the 400 cubic inch V8, and then the big 440, that 7.2-liter V8. The transmission options were either the 4-speed manual or that hugely popular transmission, that 3-speed torque flight automatic 727. And during early development, this platform was known as the Rhino. The Ramcharger and the Trail Duster were built using a 9-inch shortened pickup Chrysler AD platform that was introduced back in 1972. In 1974, it was available only in four-wheel drive. The 1974 through 1980 models came without a roof with a dealer-installed fabric top, or an optional removable steel roof with a flip-up rear tailgate window. The early 1974 model is different from all the others in that its door pillars are attached to the removable roof. Any of you out there who've had one will remember it was totally different. The half doors were used up to the build date of 6/10 of 1974. After that date, after that Julian date, the roof was changed to use a more normal kind of a conventional style pickup door. Originally marketed as a basic utility vehicle, only the driver's seat was standard equipment with the passenger seat as an option up to 1976. Also in 1974, the big block 440 V8 became an option, but it turned out to be the only year with that option. Another cool option back in those days was an available insulated center console that you could use as an ice chest for keeping your favorite beverages cool, was the marketing ploy. My older sister actually had one of these vehicles, and because of that, I kind of got a chance to spend considerable time in a 1974 Ramcharger, and I will be forever a fan of this vehicle. It was ahead of its time with regard to styling. And the 318 with the 727 torque flight, possibly one of the most dependable classic powertrains ever designed. But before I go any further, I want to talk about the largest automatic transmission network on the planet. They're the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association, or the ATRA. ATRA makes our Clash of the Classics possible, and no one knows transmissions better than ATRA. These guys have a member network that stretches from coast to coast, and there's no better place to be when your car is having a transmission problem than an authorized ATRA service provider. Head on over to atra.com to find a member near you. That's about all the time we have for our show today. Thanks for hanging out with us today at Horsepower for an Hour. We'll see you all next time.